Welcome back to Absolutely the Best Podcast, a work in progress. I am Zach, and with me today are my good friends George and Michael. Hello.
Hi.
The three of us can't do this episode on our own, so we brought in a couple of heavy hitters. First, returning for her third appearance here. She's one half of the Nerds of Broadcast show. You may know her as the Let's Play... God damn it, I say that every time. You may know her as the Let's Play Princess. Definitely not the Let's Pray Princess.
No.
Welcome back, Miss Phoebe Stanton. How are you, my friend?
Hello. Good to be back.
Good to have you back. And from superwhale64.com, he's your 16-bit master.
Oh, shit.
An amazing internet superstar and a dirty vegan hipster.
That's the one. That's the good one. Montreal vegan hipster. That's the only one you need to use. The rest is all defunct garbage. Yeah.
You don't want me to call you the Colombian Canadian?
You could do that if you want. You could do that. You could do that if you want.
Well, it's my good friend and podcast mentor. It is French Pet Will. How you doing?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I am proud of your podcasting journey. This Riverside is very high tech. This is way more high tech than Skype.
Well, if you're recording by yourself, you don't need it. But
yeah, I guess
I was doing it as a group. So
yeah, let's rock and roll.
Let's do it.
Take you for a ride.
This is Series 2, Episode 10, part of our MCU adjacent series, and today we are doing another game series ranking. This time it is Capcom vs. Marvel, specifically the fighting games in the Fighting Collection Arcade Classics collection.
Fuck yeah. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have asked you on if you weren't allowed to swear.
Good.
we are leaving out the Punisher because that is a beat 'em up and it would be the obvious winner if we included it.
Bad choice. Not the winner, but it would have been second.
It would have been the winner. As a reminder, we assume the listener has played the games before, and of course, there will be spoilers. Now, Michael Colby has been kind enough to volunteer to do a short series overview and start off the personal histories. I hope you remembered that you agreed to that.
I didn't.
I was about to say, the look on your face says no.
Damn it, Colby.
Just wing it. They're fighting games.
All right. Webster's Dictionary.
Perfect.
Wikipedia says about Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. It's a 2024 fighting game compilation developed and published by Capcom. It's the second entry in Capcom's Fighting Collection series following Capcom Fighting Collection in 2022 and includes 7 arcade titles in the Marvel vs. Capcom series of fighting games that were originally released between 1993 and the year 2000, all pre 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
It was released for the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Windows in September 2024 digitally. Physical editions, for some reason, for the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch were released in November 2024.
That's probably good.
Yeah, that's it. It's a group.
I can't believe you typed all that into Wikipedia as you said it. That's crazy.
It's a group of fighting games that are all just Street Fighter.
That's what I was going to say. It's basically Street Fighter 2 Alpha or something.
And we were talking about it a little bit before. My history with it is I got Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Dreamcast, played so much of it, and then was disappointed with every other version of it that I've ever played. Because
I think that's the story for everyone.
Yeah, the Dreamcast version is the best one because it actually has you do something besides just playing a fighting game. And then I sort of played the rest of these in arcades when I saw them, and then played this collection and was bored senseless.
Good Lord.
You're not the only one. Will, do you want to go next on the?
Do I have to white knight this? Do I have to like come in and just
you-
defend its honor?
You do whatever you
You
want.
might have to.
So are we gonna? Do you want me to go one by one, or you want me just? I
like
guess I got the Google Docs here.
The series
The
overview.
okay, the overview for me is I from what I understand. So I tried to research this as much as I could. I went to a comic book store today, okay, and I talked to the cashier about this. So like I was trying to do my due diligence here. From what I understand, Marvel was in the shitter during the '90s, and this really helped them pull through with the royalties on the games. Personally, my personal anecdote is I had Children of the Atom on the Sega Saturn back in the day when free games weren't ubiquitous. It was kind of like you had a game and you could borrow games from your friends, but that was it. You were fucked. Like you couldn't just get Fortnites and all this crap. So you had this game, and if you played it, whether you liked it or not. So for me, I played a lot of X-Men: Children of the Atom. I liked it. I used to skip school and play a lot of X-Men versus Street Fighter, which I also like in the arcade. And the other ones I kind of am a little foggy on. Obviously, the Dreamcast one is sort of the one that everybody likes, and I think is the one that became a tournament staple for the likes of the Justin Wongs of the world. Now we'll get into, I'm sure, how important they are, sort of in the enclave of Capcom history and video games in general, I guess. But the long of the short of it is that you had the tagging system, which was like kind of new. I thought they invented it, and destructible backgrounds, which is a pretty big thing that DOA went on to use, and then everybody uses it now, like Tekken and all that stuff, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, so that's it.
Great. No, that's great. Phoebe, you're up next.
I don't have much of a history with a lot of these games except for MVC2, and that's exclusively because my college actually had in the C Lounge a bunch of arcade machines, and this was one of them. So me and my buddy Daniel would play MVC2 every once in a while. Otherwise, my quarters were going into something more important, like House of the Dead.
Nice.
George?
Yeah. I hope this doesn't date me too much, but this series came out in, I think it's, I when I looked it up, I was like, oh, this is why a good chunk of my college years, I remember this game was because it came out in 1994. And I think every year after that was a new version of the game. And at the time, if anybody wanted to look for me in college, I was always at the basement of the Memorial Union in Davis. Shout out to Marisa, who always hooked me up with game tokens. But
Nice.
yeah, this was. I personally loved this series. I have such fond memories of everything. I do remember it being very distinctly different from Street Fighter, just in that like the supers were insane. There was nothing more satisfying than doing an uppercut and then finishing it off with like, with Cyclops doing an optic blast to someone's anus or something. But in Street Fighter, I could never get into Zangief, but Zangief was so fun to play in this whole series, especially getting into it later, like especially as Mecha Zangief and just walking through somebody's super and just destroying them and all, and just seeing the hope just dwindle out of somebody's eyes when you 360 them. But yeah, it was just so much fun. I just remember these games with so much fondness.
Is the G in Zangief?
It's Zangief.
Not for graphics?
Zangief.
So I'm not really a fighting game guy, except for like Mortal Kombat 2 and Street Fighter 2. Those are the only ones I really put a lot of time into. I hadn't played any of these until a few months ago when Will suggested that maybe we could talk about some of these on the show, and that was a good way to get him to come on. So,
sorry about that.
All is forgiven, as long as this turns out okay.
I'll say. Sorry, just to interrupt real quick. I will say that while researching this, I think this podcast will have cornered the market on this discussion because I couldn't really find any other. There's a guy on YouTube, Top Hat Gaming. Shout out to him, who had a real. If you're trying to cram for a podcast on this, he's got a lot of like tidbits on it. But for the most part, we're like the only game it down for this. Just
all
FYI.
right.
If only we had grabbed Maximilian Dude as a guest.
Oh yeah, for sure, exactly.
So I did the bare minimum of gameplay to prepare for this. I played each character in each game with, except for one, at least one time. If I won the match, the stock characters, I should say, I didn't play through and unlock everything, but I played at least one match. If I won the match, I kept going, but I don't think I got more than like 3 wins in a row, maybe 4. Not once while playing any of these games did I ever feel like I was controlling the character to do what I wanted them to do. It was mostly just button mashing, strategic button mashing. Some of them felt a little less button mashy than others, but I still didn't feel in control. So while I can rank these just fine, my overall feeling on the games is not super positive, but I didn't hate it.
So you want a fighting game where you feel like you're in control?
Yes, I feel like I'm setting myself up for an insult here.
Would you like Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
I don't know. I'll have
There's
to
a
look
3?
into that one.
Yeah,
I suppose there is a 3.
There's a 3. They did that Street Fighter 4 like 3D 2D thing, and I don't know. 3 doesn't do anything for
might
me.
be out.
I don't know. I really like MVC 3, but I'm the person whose like favorite Street Fighter is 4, and Tekken 3 is my favorite Tekken. So
Yeah, my favorite Street Fighter is 3.
yeah.
So
as long as it's Third Strike, I'll agree with that.
it's the one without all of the like Street Fighter 2 characters. I like things that are different, and a series to go in and be like, all right, we're gonna try some new characters, and then people are like, oh, but I miss Ryu. Like, fuck Ryu.
Okay, let's review the ranking rules real quick, because I know you guys are all studied up on it, but for the listener, you've all been chosen for your extensive experience with this series, but primarily for your willingness to show up.
Do you mind if I just cut in for a second, Zach?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't mean to spoil anything, but we're talking about like Third Strike. We're talking about all the. Can we just agree that Capcom have been making bangers for like a long time? I just beat Resident Evil 9 the other day, and then for preparation of this podcast, I'm like, this company's been pretty solid for the last 40 years, like from like Mega Man 2 to
I'd agree.
Monster
Yeah.
Hunter Stories.
I'd say like the early
Resident Evil-
360 era when they did that Bionic Commando reboot would be a low point, but besides
Yeah.
that, no, they've been great the vast majority of the time. I mean, Mega Man's perfect, fucking Darkstalkers is great, this series is mostly good. A Beautiful Joe is one of my favorite game series, so yeah, they're
cooking.
love Capcom.
Yeah, they're cooking. Sorry, just had to throw that out there.
Pragmata is
I
next
agree.
month, and that's a Game of the Year contender just from the demo alone.
Before Zach throws us under the bus, I just have to pay the respects. Capcom, peace be upon them. Okay, we can go now. Yeah.
I don't have to love all their games, but yeah, I mean, more hits than misses for sure.
Yeah, you're right about Beautiful Joe. Those games are awesome because you're doing something that's not just fighting one person at a time, like 2 people at a time. God, these fighting games. Oh my God, I'm so burnt out on fighting games right now. I'm sorry. I was like trying to think of what I could, but like I'm the guy with no middling opinions, and I was so middling on all of these games, and that makes it worse. Like I would rather hate these games, but I'm like bored by them.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you on that for sure. So let's go over the rules real quick for the listeners. We have a list of 6 games. Each of us have divvied up 42 points between the games. The 42 points comes from if you wanted all 6 games to be ranked in such a way that they're spaced out by 2 points each, it's 12 plus 10 plus 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2, that's 42. You have to use all 42 points. I don't know why you wouldn't. Better games get more points. There's no ties allowed. You have to make the hard decisions, and you can award 0 points to one game. We will just...
Zach, can we add one more rule to that?
Probably not.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Zach promises to count correctly this time.
Okay, fair. Yes, I actually set up a double check in the spreadsheet this time.
I'm not in the like if we have to go back and fix something, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not going to bother. If I fuck up this one, I'm not fixing it. So that's a fair rule. So we will discuss the games in chronological order of release date, and then we will take turns awarding points, discussing as necessary. After all 6 games have been discussed, we will sum up the points awarded for each game. Higher scores rank higher. And in the event of a tie, each player will get to take 1 point away from another game and award it to one of the tied games or vice versa. This may end up in a different tie, or it might change the rankings. If a tie persists, the process will be repeated until there are no ties and everyone is unhappy. After all the games are ranked, then a discussion or argument about the tiers will be had. And please note that, as with all of our movies, S tier and F tier must be unanimous. Other tiers may be the average of votes, and the showrunner has the discretion there. That's me. We will take turns going first. We're going to say what we want about the game. Interruptions are allowed. And you finish up with your personal ranking and awarded points. I will go first to set the example, if we're all ready to go.
Yep.
All right. And let's start with X-Men Children of the Atom, developed and published by Capcom for the CP System 2 arcade board in 1994. It's a one-on-one fighting game. Pretty much all the characters are X-Men. Interestingly, I found out that they were voiced by the same actors who did the animated series. I didn't realize that. And we get, as a hidden character, Akuma from Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. He's unlockable. I guess that was part of the contract that Capcom had with Marvel. They had to be able to include a Street Fighter character. So there's 11 playable characters, 2 non-playable bosses, and it's basically some kind of Street Fighter 2. Best of 3 rounds wins the match. So my general comments on the game are, starting with the bad, I guess. Cyclops, he was okay. I just have a couple comments. I'm not going to go over every character because that's going to take too long. But some of the characters, Cyclops was okay, but I couldn't figure out why. Sometimes his I-beam was like super thick, and sometimes it was like this little measly beam. Couldn't figure out why. Just sometimes it was big and sometimes it wasn't. I also couldn't figure out what he was saying because it sounded like he kept saying Jesus Christ over and over again.
Gene Splice.
Did anybody think the same, or did
Gene
you know?
Splice? But now I can't unhear it.
Yeah.
Gene
Yeah.
Splice.
It doesn't
That
matter.
makes
It's
sense.
Cyclops, so who cares?
Yes. I also thought that Iceman sucked. Yeah, he shows up on a block of ice that says Iceman. I think that's a little over the top.
Good branding.
Right, I guess so. And I could not get him to shoot his ice beam any other way than upwards at an angle. So like your enemy had to be like jumping at you.
Skill issue.
Yeah.
I'm sure every complaint I have in this entire series of 6 games is a skill issue complaint. I'm certain of that. Not going to stop me though. I did finally win around with Psylocke, and I had Psylocke against Storm, and I wrote down Boner Alert, but I'm not sure which character or both it was.
Spiral, obviously.
Yes, Spiral
Six
too.
Hands.
I think I hadn't got to her yet. But yeah, I didn't know who she was. I had Spiral, it was like 6-arm chick, whatever, and Omega Red I'd never heard of before. He's kind of like,
He was in the movie.
I was gonna say,
Did you
yeah.
guys review the
he's-
movies?
which movie?
X-Men?
Which X-Men?
I don't think
You gotta
he's
be
in
more
any of the
specific.
movies, but he is a member of
the good
Weapon
one?
X program.
Oh, that's Saber.
Yeah.
Saber.
Sabretooth.
Okay.
Sabretooth. It's one of the sabers. Yeah.
But he was cool. He was like a cybernetic, roided out Simon Belmont looking guy. And I did get a flawless victory spamming his whip attack. So he was a pretty
Nice.
good character. Overall, I like the graphics, very comic book like. The music is fine. Nothing really stood out to me. Sorry, Will. Psylocke is great. And I wanted to like being Wolverine more, but I did not. And everything seemed very button mashy. And most of the time when I'd start winning, the computer would just trounce me. Or if I went around, I'd get destroyed in the second round. So I felt like the computer was cheating. So this is my personal number 3, and I award it 9 points.
Wow.
Even 9 points. Wow.
Will, you're next.
Zach, I'm gonna roast you. Sorry, bud.
That's fine. Go ahead.
I think Children of the Atom is the best one. I think but this is a bias. I'm about to yap, and I'm going to be yapping the most about this one. So get your earplugs ready. Okay, so first of all, the diagonal shooting. It's a schema for all of the projectiles, or most of them. For the hard punch, it'll go diagonal. The middle punch will be it's the directions, right? So low punch, medium punch, and strong punch controls the directions, right? So you were using your strong attack. That's why you were only getting.
That was the only way I could get it to work, though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Second
But
of all,
anyways,
you're saying it's a button masher. Well, what the fuck do you want? SimCity 2000, bro? Like, this is a fighting game.
I want Mortal Kombat 2. I want Mortal Kombat 2 style combinations where it's like
you're going
super
to David
easy.
Buster's. You throw in you in cotton candy. You press the buttons and you leave, right? But that's what I like about it. The music is incredible. I find it's the best. The music changes after this. It gets into kind of the 90s, mid 90s techno, Chemical Brothers kind of rave culture thing, but from the X-Men Children of the Atom, it's like they gave like a little MIDI box to Emerson, Lake and Palmer in the 70s or something, because it's just like insane prog, like crazy time signatures. Anyways, we'll get into that later, but I think the music is wonderful on this. Spiral, I asked the guy at the comic book store today, this is a good anecdote. I said, who's Spiral? And he said, oh, it's the bodyguard of Mojo.
Fucking love
who's
Mojo?
The Mojo verse, right?
Oh my God.
Sounds like a Watch Mojo channel or something. The Mojo verse. And apparently they kidnap people from other dimensions to have like some type of game show, like Running Man thing. And this is kind of the plot line. And he loves the X-Men because they get the most ratings. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Maybe y'all knew that, but I just found that out today. The levels in this are so nice. Like when you look at the background, there's stories happening in the background of these levels. When you look at the other games we're going to talk about, they're kind of generic. It's like you're in a TV studio, like you're like out in a park or something like that. But in X-Men Children of the Atom, it's like you're fighting on a highway that has like all these cars have been deserted because there's a war. The bridge breaks, you fall down onto the ship, and in the background you see like soldiers running in the background. I don't know. It's great. It's awesome on the Saturn. The PlayStation 1 version, for most of these games, the PlayStation 1 versions weren't that great because the
RAM
2D processor, RAM and all this stuff. We all know about that stuff. And also one last thing, I think you could play as Juggernaut and Magneto in the PlayStation version with like a Game Shark or something. There's a way to do it. But I gave this one a 12, and I'll just run down my numbers real quick. Graphics, I gave it a 2. Music, I gave it a 3. Innovation, I gave it a 2. Gameplay, I gave it a 2. Replay value, I gave it a 3 because I'm in my 40s and I'm still playing this shit. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So a 12 points from me.
All right, I got you down for 12. Phoebe, you're next.
So let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum.
No.
So I tried with this game. I really, really tried. Started off with Storm because played her a little bit of MVC 3. Did not feel right. Tried Wolverine. Wolverine was the furthest I got with any character without having to start bumping difficulties and everything. And even then, I got to the second opponent, and that's where my run ended. I swear to God, the AI in this game, at least the copy that Zach was gracious enough to send to me, had some absolute bullshit input reading because they would block every single attack you ever try to do, which is insane.
Yeah.
Because the attract mode cutscene for this game happily states that combo is the key. What combo? If I can't hit the first attack, how the fuck am I comboing it into a second attack? Now, somebody was gracious enough in the Discord chat to say, hey, choose Iceman and use his boulder.
Yeah.
That was Will.
So I switched the difficulty to a 1, chose Iceman, hotkeyed his boulder to the left bumper.
Oh,
nice.
And even then only got to the third opponent before they were perfectly blocking everything, knowing their zoning, everything. How you get that boulder to tilt left or right and angle it, No idea. Tried holding X amount of time, thinking that would change the angle. Nope. Oh, can I put the input in during it or before it? Nope. Also, supposedly this game is based off of a comic art, but if there's no cutscenes in the game. How am I supposed to tell it's based off of a comic arc?
It's pretty loose.
If there's
with the
no
based
plot
on.
to the game,
Yeah.
except for, as Will said, there's stuff going on in the background that
Yeah.
might hint to what's going on in the comics. Why would I be paying attention to what's going on in the background? I'm getting my shit pushed in by Juggernaut. I need to
Touche.
defend my ass.
Yeah.
Nobody felt right. The combo system is shit. I give this game 0 points, and
Oh,
may God
wow.
have mercy on its soul.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Damn.
Okay, Michael, you're next.
I agree with Phoebe. This game does the cardinal sin of fighting games where it feels like the computer is cheating. There is
Okay, so it's not
no
me.
way to fight any of these characters. Like, you have to be a fighting game master, which I am not. This game fucking sucks. I hate it. It looks nice, fine. Otherwise, fuck this game. 1 point. That's all I have to say about it. I gave most of these games a low amount of points because I liked one of them. So that got most of my points. Otherwise, these games all feel the same. They all feel like they're cheating. I don't like any of them. None of them have enough characters. It's just a sad state of affairs I was in while I was playing all of these games. And even the one that I liked wasn't the version that I liked.
Somebody learned a lesson from the Metroid ranking episode with how to score things. George, that leaves you.
Right. Man, I feel really bad. Actually, I think Will, you and I are going to be good friends after this series because I'm with Will. I'm going to start off with my score, which was an 8. I would have gone higher, but then I started going through the other games. But yeah, this came out right before I went to college. And I do remember being blown away by the animation. I think it reminded me a lot of like the Darkstalker animation and artwork back in the day. And the X-Men series has always been hands down like my favorite superhero team. So you get X-Men plus like an animated fighting game like this, and I was totally in. About the video game though, I will say it's not for the faint of heart. I do remember the bulk of my playing experience for this was actually at the game cabinet itself when you had to put quarters in and line up quarters, and you would go and play. Whoever was next would play, would put their quarters up. And that was around the time before universities had page caps on how much you could actually print off of your account. And I printed the facts for these games so I could learn the moves, and like a lot of, and I'm sorry, Zach, Will's right. Like, it's a skill issue.
I admitted it. It's fine.
Yeah, I do remember because I was a Cyclops main, so the little different optic blasts, that was all for like the fierce, medium, and low punches, and it's just a matter of the combos for all of that. And yeah, I loved playing Cyclops. Again, there's nothing more satisfying than uppercutting your opponent into the air and then finishing it off with like an optic blast to their butthole. And then just like I remember Colossus was also awesome. I remember loving Iceman and doing the hail super and just chipping away at somebody's remaining energy levels and stuff. But like, yeah, Sentinel, Juggernaut, and Spiral, I remember using them a lot. I never used Akuma, even though Akuma was really cool. It was cool to have him kind of cameo in this game. I don't think he had his Raging Demon super in this, but when that came out, that was so fun because the whole screen would go dark and then that symbol would show up, and like you just decimated somebody's energy level. But yeah, I don't know. I gave this an 8 because for me this kicked off the entire series, and it was definitely up there. I think nostalgia wise, it was up there. Oh yeah, Psylocke also was a favorite of mine to play on this.
All right. Great. So let's move on to Marvel Superheroes, developed and published by Capcom for the CP System 2. They're pretty much almost all, they're all Capcom, they're almost all CP System 2. In 1995, this one, they've kind of mixed it up a bit with the characters, so they aren't all X-Men. There's a couple of unlockable boss characters too. And the big gameplay difference here is the Infinity Gems thing going on, which I never really got the hang of, surprisingly. Otherwise, it's pretty similar to Children of the Atom. And for this one, Will, you can go first.
Honestly, this one, maybe because there's so many of them, I never really got into this one. Like I must have rented it from Blockbuster and burnt it on a CD or something, but like I don't really, it's kind of forgettable for me. And when you sort of have all of them in front of you, you kind of gravitate towards like whatever your favorite one is. And I just kind of always, it's like, well, if I'm going to play this one, I might as well play Marvel vs. Capcom, right? Because it's all the same people and it's probably newer. So it's a weird kind of awkward middle child, I guess, of the bunch. I guess there's a couple of them here, but I gave the graphics a 1, the music a 1, the innovation a 1, the gameplay a 1, and the replay is a 0, so 4 points. Just because it doesn't really hold a connection to me. Going back to review the music or whatever, I noticed that there was the change in the style of like how they were doing the music, and it sounds like some of the songs sound identical to Street Fighter Alpha 3. Like they would just change like a note or something like that. But it also had sort of like the heroic kind of themes because obviously like superheroes. It's the beginning of the big one, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but for me I don't know. I don't really have any connection to it, so I don't really care much for it.
Okay. Phoebe, you're up next.
So this is the one where everybody started to feel like the characters that I know them as. I tried a little bit with Wolverine. He feels like the Wolverine I like. I tried Spider-Man. He definitely still has his web throw, his web swing, his ability to web ball people up so that you can set them up for an easy combo. So we're headed towards the right direction. But that's just it. It's the starting point of heading towards the right direction.
Yeah.
So I was going to give this 4 points until the Infinity Gem system happened. Now, I do think the Infinity Gem system works in this game more often than not, but it does make me remember that MVCI exists, and so that bumped it down a point, so it gets 3 points.
Okay. 3 points from Phoebe. Michael, you're next.
This is Children of the Atom with a couple extra characters and some Infinity Gem bullshit that I didn't care about. 2 points.
So many points. All right, George.
So I remember this game as probably the starting point of me hating Spider-Man in all Versus games, which I think is a good testament to how thoughtfully game designers, I think, approach Spider-Man. He's like one of the most seemingly underpowered characters in the Marvel universe, but when you factor in his agility, his strength, and spider sense, he's the most annoying. And he's right up there toe-to-toe with Wolverine in every game. With just how people combo the shit out of you if they know how to use him really well. And if you've ever played Marvel Rivals, he's up there in annoyingness as well. This game was definitely an improvement over Children of the Atom, but it wasn't that huge of an improvement, I didn't think. I loved the Infinity War, story arc, but I didn't like how confusing it made it with, the different gems that you picked up did different things, and that was like 5 times more confusing than it needed to be. I did like Captain America, his introduction here, even though I wasn't so great at him. But it was really fun to kind of beat somebody up with him, purposely toss your shield away, and then just kind of end somebody without your shield, because that was kind of a, I don't know, kind of a dick move, but it was fun to do. But besides Captain America, I remember loving Psylocke. I remember Shumagorath was fun to play with because it was something kind of satisfying, beating somebody up with this weird squid-looking eyeball. And Hulk and Juggernaut were pretty fun too. But because it was just kind of barely an improvement over Children of the Atom, this one I gave a 4.
All right, 4 points. God damn, I'm in the wrong window every time I try to type in points. All right. So for me, starting with a little bit about some characters, I thought this was going to be a hot take, but I'm glad George said it first. I hated Spider-Man in this. I hate the way he moves. I'm sure it's like comic accurate or something, but it looks stupid and I hate it. And it doesn't get better in any of the games from here on out. I found he was super hard to fight against. Like he just kept spamming me with all of his moves, whatever. And I kept getting paired up against him with every new character that I would try. First one I had to fight was always Spider-Man. So it took me forever to get past him. Even at one point, I set him on fire with Blackheart and I still lost. I just don't know how does that work. So I thought Wolverine, he was pretty easy to spam special moves with. And I thought Hulk Clap was pretty cool. That was nice to see. Iron Man has a pretty rad proton cannon, but it's super dorky when he keeps yelling, "Superior tech!
Superior tech!"
You've never been in a bar fight and been like, I'm going to punch you.
If I ever get in a bar fight, I am going to start doing that, yes.
Kick!
Captain America was hard to fight against because he spams his shield and he blocks everything. And he was kind of frustrating to play as well, because I swear I was trying different button combinations, but he just kept going stars and stripes and doing the same jumping punch. So again, skill issue. You could see it on your face, Will.
Stars and stripes!
So in general, I don't like the character designs as much in this as I did in Children of the Atom. Specifically, like the art style, it's like it has a lower color palette depth or something. They seem flatter. And a lot of it, especially is Spider-Man and Hulk, they just seem like they're from a different game. The character animations, though, I thought were really good, especially Shumagorath. He does a lot of transformations that are really cool. And way too much announcing of moves. I don't think it gets better either in later games.
That's what I'm laughing at.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
If you don't like stars and stripes now, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah, exactly. I felt that the CPU didn't cheat as much in this one. So again, I agree with like George and Phoebe and Michael, I think it was, who said it's a little better than Children of the Atom. So I also thought this felt a little bit less button mashy too. This is my number 2, and I give it 11 points.
You know, you mentioned something about the colors being off, and the vibe that I'm getting is that this was sort of around the Street Fighter Alpha time. So I think where X-Men with Children of the Atom was kind of shielded from the next 5 years of Capcom, I think this was sort of the beginning of a lot of artistic styles from their other games, like kind of being shared amongst all the Capcom fighting games.
Yeah.
Just an opinion.
I can see that.
I don't know.
I can see that. Yeah. We'll take it as fact. That's fine. Next is X-Men vs. Street Fighter, developed and published by Capcom for the CP System 2 arcade in 1996. So this one has the X-Men characters and the Street Fighter characters, 8 of each as playable characters. Akuma is a hidden character again. And the big change here is that instead of the best of 3 rounds, you have 2 characters on each side, and you can tag in and out and let the characters slowly recover energy, which I never actually realized could happen until I was writing these notes. Your character that's off screen is recovering. But that's the main difference here. Phoebe, you're up first.
Yeah, playing a couple rounds of this as Ryu and Ken, I thought they played very well. I mean, how do you fuck up Ryu and Ken? And honestly, it's just a fighting game. Like, it doesn't do anything well, but it doesn't do anything poor. If you like fighting games, this is a fighting game. I think the graphics look great and everything, but that's like saying, can Capcom ever fuck up sprite art?
I didn't like Spider-Man.
That's true. So in all honesty, I'm going to give it 5 points. And again, it is headed towards the right direction. I thought people felt good in this game.
Okay, Michael.
It's got Bison. It's got Magneto. That's all I care about. I want to play as Bison. But yeah, it's a fighting game. Like
That's the main problem with these fighting games is that they're fighting games.
This whole time, ever since I got, roped into doing this episode, I was like trying to think of I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to play these games. Surely I'm going to be able to find something to talk about with all of these games. And the more I played them, the more I'm like, yep, these are Street Fighters. Uh-huh. I sure am playing a Street Fighter game. I'm not going to be able to come up with anything to say about these games. And the more I played them, the less I could think of to say about them. This one's slightly better than the last one. 3 points.
I'm sensing a pattern here. George, you're next.
I'm going to jump on the other side of the spectrum there, where I think for this one, it kind of blew the hinges off the series for me in that all the Street Fighter folks came in. And as a fan of both series, it was like a dream come true playing this.
Totally.
Having everybody in this game. My favorite especially was just being able to play Zangief. And Zangief's just so hard to play in Street Fighter in general, but there was something a little bit easier playing with him here. Just maybe it was how his spinning lariats kind of made him invincible to like the fireballs and stuff. But it's just so satisfying doing the final atomic buster on somebody and just ending a match with that. It was also fun to kind of end a match with Rogue kissing somebody that's just turtling in the corner and just removing their last bit of energy and just draining them. But Cyclops was still a good, I remember being a mainstay of mine. Gambit was really fun in this. Storm was also fun. Wolverine, I think Wolverine kind of started reaching his peak combo annoyingness here, especially I think this is around the time when infinite combos started coming around, which I hate being on the receiving end of, but it was fun kind of watching it and seeing somebody just flail around until the end of your combo period. But yeah, I think just because everybody joined, I loved this, and I thought this was a 10 for me.
All right. I have a follow-up question for you. What is a lariat?
It's when he sticks his arm out and he spins around, and then the fireball kind of just goes through his midsection somehow.
Okay. So that's a verb and not a noun?
It's Zangief's ability. Yeah, it's a Zangief move.
Okay.
It's really good for blocking projectiles because he just gets invincibility frames during it.
Yep. He moves so fast his abs are out of sync with reality for a little bit.
I have that problem. So right off the bat, I felt like this one really nailed the look and the feel of it. I also really like the tag team gameplay here, even though skill issue couldn't reliably switch out. So I don't have a whole lot to say on this one other than I thought that it had the best choice of characters overall, and it was the most fun that I had playing any of these games. So obviously this is my number one, and I give it 17 points.
Nice.
All right, you're up, Will.
I guess it's me. Yeah. So I give this a 10, and I gave. I guess these numbers are kind of arbitrary. I won't read them off. But like we pointed out, this is sort of the beginning of like the tag genre. It was so awesome seeing, Wolverine. This is like the 90s was all about the X-Men cartoon, right? And the comics. So being able to see, Wolverine fighting Ken or whatever, like when you're 16 years old or whatever, I don't know. I thought it was cool. And the game is really great. It's a great fighting game because if you're accustomed to playing Street Fighter and maybe you're not used to the moves of like the Marvel games, you could just pick Ken and whatever, get to the last boss. It's way easier It's easier than the other ones, in my opinion. Like, you could actually beat that one. The last boss is cool because it's like this big, I think it's like Apocalypse, and it's just like a big sprite that you have to just beat up its arm because the arm is like as big as the screen or whatever. Yeah, great game. And it was sort of, like I said, it birthed the tag mechanic that we see in so many fighting games today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I give it a 10. That's my number 2.
Nice.
It is not a number 2, but
There was something I forgot to add, which was that Rogue is a character in this game.
yes.
And, like, if you've watched X-Men 97, half of the attacks she does in when she goes after the army base are ripped 1-to-1 from her kit in this game.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't
I'll have
put that
to
together.
rewatch that.
And like, not to keep like glazing Capcom back then or whatever, but they didn't need to get the voice actors from the cartoon. They could have just done what they've done for. You ever play Resident Evil 1? They just, hey, do you work at the post office? Do you got Saturday off?
That's
If we
like
give you
saying
$30,
that they didn't have to cake up Rogue, but that's the only reason why people liked 90s Rogue.
I on that note, actually, I only know this because I ran into a YouTube video on it. They did actually have to use the cartoon voices because apparently when the game was originally coming out, Marvel had like nixed all the voice all the submissions that they had given for the voice actors for like Wolverine, Cyclops, and everybody, and they didn't know like why Marvel wasn't approving all the audio until somebody was like, well, they're not gonna approve English with a Japanese accent. And so they kind of shit the bed, and I think somebody called up somebody inside of Marvel and they were like, well, you could talk to the Canadians. There's a Canadian studio that did the voice acting for the cartoons. And they worked out some crazy deal where it was like $5,000 for studio time and for the actors' time and actresses' time. And that's how they managed to get the voices from the cartoon into the video game. So some really crazy, like, just fluke of like crazy luck.
Weird Canadian connection.
But anyway.
Okay. Next game is Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, developed and published by Capcom for the CP System 2 arcade board in 1997. So, what if instead of X-Men vs. Street Fighter, you had Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter? That's this game. You can do some variable assist move with your off-screen character, but no surprise I couldn't do that well. Michael, you're up first.
These last two...
Is the problem that this is a fighting game?
These last two have been much better than the first couple, but they're still not the one that I like. So it's like an inferior version of the one that I like, with less characters and whatever. It's not what I want to... Man, I'm so mad about this because, like, I like one of these games and I like the Punisher game. I think that Punisher game is fucking fantastic.
It is.
That beat 'em
but
up,
it's not a fighting
like,
game.
as far as beat 'em ups go, fantastic game. One of the best on the thing. The rest of these are inferior versions of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and then a good game that we're not talking about. So Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, 4 points. It's a little bit better than the last one.
Okay. So yeah, you are saving all your points for that last one.
Almost all of them.
George, you're next.
The line between this game and Marvel vs. Capcom kind of blurs for me. The only thing I remember for sure was that this was when Mecha Zangief came in, and that was just a hoot to play. Just, yeah, like there's nothing really more satisfying than just walking through somebody's super and then beating the crap out of them while they just kind of cry and then move on to the next player.
I can't wait to hear the emails about the way that George says Zangief.
Yes.
I'm thinking the same thing.
I'm definitely
Sorry,
making
rage
I'm definitely
baiting.
making a short of him saying it wrong a bunch of times just so we get a bunch of hits.
Good
on this.
engagement.
Wait.
Yeah.
So is it Zangief or Zangief?
It's Zangief.
It's Zangief.
Zangief,
Yeah.
right? Zangief. Okay,
Did you forget when
All
I already made fun of you for that at the beginning of the episode?
I did.
But this is definitely going as a short. We've been getting ripped apart, by the way, for the AWiP Requiem thing where George
We
asked
did?
about the where he was taking where the Predator was taking something out of the face hugger thing and like put it into his suit. And then I was like, oh, because he could track the face hugger. Everybody's like, it's so obvious. You guys are stupid. It's so
Hi, audience.
And you know what, though?
Just to remind you,
12,000
you're
views.
arguing positively about an AWiP movie. Your opinion is automatically
Yeah,
invalidated.
that rules.
My favorite one was from today, though, and some guy was just like, something. And it's like, you're dumb, D-U-M. And I just like, asterisk, D-U-M-B, replied. And he was a good sport about it. And I was like, all right.
I can't believe that people are defending Alien versus Predator Requiem. I'm sorry.
That's how
Is that the
people
high
are
school
on
one?
the internet.
Is that the one where they go to
yes.
high school?
Yeah,
It
the
is.
That's
Predator
the one
It's the
I
better
like.
one.
shit.
It is.
That's
It's
the
pretty
one I
good.
like.
It's pretty good.
That's the
Thank
one I
you.
like. Because it's so shitty. It's like The Room.
Is
You know
that
what I
why
mean?
you like
It'd
Children
be a lot
of the
better if
Atom?
you could
'Cause
see
it's
it.
so shitty that it's good for you.
Yes,
I am
that is exactly.
I am
it.
with George
That
there.
is exactly
It
it.
doesn't make any sense unless you've watched the commentary, which
I do.
you do, which is insane.
That's the one that me and you had to fight Zach
Yeah.
for, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I
we
won.
lost.
It was great. Okay.
And Zach won.
Back to this episode in this game. Marvel superheroes. Was it Marvel superheroes or Street Fighter? This one seemed like they tried to improve on something that maybe couldn't be improved upon. They just kind of made changes so it was different from the previous game. There's 8 Marvel characters plus 3 secret ones, and 9 Street Fighter characters, also with 3 secret ones. And I was expecting more from the Street Fighter characters because they were so great in the previous game. By the way, who the fuck is Dan? He sucks.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
his
you.
point. His point is that he sucks.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
the
well, they
joke
nailed it.
character, except if you get good with him, he can actually be an S tier character.
All right, well, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to get good with him. No surprise I couldn't do the assist reliably. And I did think it was also bullshit. I swear this happened. If you knock out one of the other opponents, they can still sneak in on the side and assist. Like, that happened to me. I don't understand. That shouldn't be allowed.
But you can bone them if they sneak in and they don't have that much energy and you shoot and you kill them.
But I already knocked him out and he snuck back in. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. Maybe it didn't really happen and I didn't understand what was going on, but I swear I knocked somebody out and they came back and I'll have to go through all my screen caps and see if I got that one on video. But on the plus side, I did almost figure out the special moves here. There was like a half circle and mash the buttons worked really well. I don't like the character roster as much in this one. For starters, no Cammy. So that was a detractor, let's say. So this one, definitely not as good as X-Men vs. Street Fighter, but pretty okay still. I think that this is my number 5, and I give it 2 points. And that leaves you, Will.
So the Predator, Aliens vs. Predator tangent, you could leave in
Oh, I will.
because Hideki Okagawa did the music for X-Men Children of the Atom. And he also did the music for the Aliens vs. Predator Capcom arcade beat 'em up. It's synergy.
Oh, okay.
The
Nice.
universe is poetry. It's just interlocking with these nerd references.
Yeah.
This one, it's kind of one of these games. I guess George said the kind of my thoughts. It's just the line blurs at this point, and I don't even really know at what like. It's like which is the one,
Right.
which is the one I want to play at some point after X-Men versus Street Fighter. I'm just waiting for Marvel versus Capcom 2, right? And if I happen to pick the other one, I don't know. They're all the same at this point. So I gave it a 5.
Hey, George, how many points did you give that one?
I think I gave that one a 6. Yeah,
Okay,
I gave it a
thanks.
6.
All right, cool. And yes, now Phoebe.
All right, well, if I gave X-Men versus Street Fighter a 5, I have to give this one a 7 because It gets an extra point for Dan, and it gets an extra point for Sakura.
Okay, I agree with you on the second character there, but Dan. Okay.
I mained Dan every once in a while in Street Fighter 4. He's my man.
Okay.
Should we tell Zach the backstory on Dan?
No, you shouldn't.
No.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
Okay.
Also,
okay.
I love that Zach's whole thing is just like, fucking, it just feels like they're buffing and nerfing characters and releasing a new game. Yeah, welcome to fighting games, Zach.
I think we've established it's not my genre. Any other comments on that, or are we moving on?
No, that was it.
Okay, cool. Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes, developed and published by Capcom for the CP System 2 arcade board in 1998. And so they really mixed it up here with the characters. Not only are there X-Men, Marvel superheroes, and Street Fighter characters, but also from other Capcom franchises like Mega Man, Darkstalkers, Strider, and Captain Commando. That's probably not all of them, but those are the ones I recognized. They really wanted this to be Marvel vs. Capcom, as the name suggests. There's 21 playable characters, including 6 secret ones, and then also 22 more special partners, which are randomly assigned, and this replaces the variable assist from the previous game, and you have limited uses of the special partner assists. Otherwise, it's very similar to Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. George, you're up first.
Yeah. This one got my full-on 12 points. This was my S tier. At the risk of butchering this because of it's totally from memory, I think Onslaught was the main villain in this video game, in this series, in this particular game, and that was from one of my favorite arcs where I think a fragment of Professor Xavier's and Magneto's psyche came alive somehow and basically warped everybody to another planet or another world. And as a boss, he was initially pretty kind of crazy because he took up almost the entire screen, kind of like Apocalypse.
Mhm.
But then it was just kind of like the same play mechanic. And once you beat him, he wasn't really that much of a challenge. But Zangief got a double atomic buster, which was so much more fun to destroy people's hopes with, because then you and your partner could come in from both sides and tag team somebody from both ends and do a 360. I'm totally gonna. I'm so used to saying Zangief that it's gonna screw everything up. But yeah. Anyway, that was so much fun doing that super. I remember Morrigan was one of my main one of my mains on this game, followed by Captain America. Hulk was also really fun, and when you do the double atomic buster with Zangief and the Hulk, or Zangief or Zangief. Zangief.
You'll get there.
Man, now that I'm overthinking it, and Juggernaut, it just made it more fun. Strider was also a really fun one to use. I think he's just as annoying as Spider-Man and Wolverine, especially once his Ouroboros super was activated and he just kind of messed you up and just trapped you in a corner. But there was nothing more annoying than having your roided out superhero get beaten down by a super cute Mega Man on a little duck shooting little tiny missiles. That was very satisfying also. But yeah, I loved it. I think this was peak for the series for me. I wasn't such a fan of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 as much as I think a few of you sound like you're bigger fans of it, but this one was the peak of the series for me.
Okay. I appreciate that you ended there on the Mega Man note, because that was kind of the start of my notes. I thought he was a really interesting choice to include, and I love that when you beat him, he breaks up into the flashing, slow-moving dots, like when you die in any of the Mega Man games, certainly the earlier ones. I thought that was the highlight of the game for me. I don't think I appreciated his special moves. Like there's Rush Drill and this penguin plane, and I don't know what else. And his voice was super annoying. I did like that Strider Hiryu. His sword. Yeah, Hiryu. Thank you. I'm gonna mess that up again. That's my Zangief. His sword was great and game accurate, right? This was the first one that I noticed, and I think I went back and even checked that, at least in the game collection that I was playing, it had kind of scan lines on it, and it looked great. So I thought that really helped with the look quite a bit. I felt like this game should be awesome, but I did not really have a good time with it. Just like with the variable assists, I have skill issues and I couldn't reliably pull off the special partner move. And the CPU cheats again. There was at least one time when it would get like 7 variable assists and I only had 5 for some reason. At the start of the match. Don't know why that would be. Maybe it depends on the character. Maybe some variable assists aren't better than others, but didn't really matter. I couldn't do the move anyway. Similarly, the characters I chose, they always give me the alternate colors. And the CPU would get the traditional ones. Like, don't you think you should give it to the player?
That's annoying. That's annoying.
It's like you have pink Hulk. Great.
Oh, is that?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the color pink, but Hulk is green.
Is that not dependent on which button you press to pick them?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But they always switch the button per game. So like on Alpha 2, it's like a weak kick to get red key Ryu, but then if you press it on 3, it's like the yellow one.
Okay, so
like,
you can at least pick which one you want.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 0.1 more points then. I wish that they'd put some effort into varying the special move background, like when you do a special move. It's better than in Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, but it's still the same for every special move for every character. I think that this one like just edges out Superheroes versus Street Fighter, and it's my number 4, and I give it 3 points.
No, you're next. It is me. It's like in Mother Nature, if you have the weak baby, you got to kill it so the strong one survives. And I need to give all the rest of the points to Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because I can't give it a 5. So I gave this a 1, not because it's bad, but it's just like you could watch Terminator 1 or you could watch Terminator 2.
Yes, and
if people
one
are
is much better. You're correct.
It is.
It is. Well, you can watch Raw Deal or you can watch Terminator 1. What I'm trying to say is 2 is the best one. So, but this one is good. Like the big sprites, the music is good. The character selection is starting to get into that wacky sort of territory with like Mega Man and all this stuff, and the Darkstalkers characters like Little Red Riding Hood and all that. So but you might as well just go to 2. So I'll give it a 1, unfortunately. Also, you're talking about the computer's cheating. Bro, at the beginning you said you like Mortal Kombat 2. Have you ever seen that video where they coded it? I
could beat Mortal Kombat 2. I could beat it. So, anyways, Phoebe, you're up next.
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving it 9 points because I'm still saving all my points for the one that I know Colby's going to be happy with. But even then, I do like that this game is ballsy enough to put assist characters in that aren't playable. And it's also really cool to see that this is the game where Capcom is starting to show more love for Hear You, the Darkstalker games. I was not expecting Cyberbot characters to be in this, but they are there, and they're great. Like, Jin's super fun to play. But, yeah, it's going to get a 9, because I'm saving everything for the big finale.
Okay. Michael, you're up.
I actually like this one more than the rest of them, except for 2. I don't like that they put characters in that are just assist characters. Like, if you're going to have characters in your game, let me play with them,
They could be unlockable. That would be okay.
That would be fine.
But yeah, I don't like that at all.
I would prefer if they were unlockable. As I'll talk about when we get to the next game, I like unlocking characters. But this game was more fun to play. It felt more like the game that I wanted to play. I gave this game 7 points. I think it's better to play than the other ones. Hiryu's sword noise is perfect. I think Hiryu's sword noise is one of the best sounds in video games, and they nailed it on this. So I could listen, it gets a point just for getting that sword noise right. And it's better. I wish you could play all the characters. but we get to the point where you can play all the characters. So, 7 points. It's my number 2.
Okay. Last one, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes, developed and published by Capcom for the Sega Naomi arcade system in 2000. There are 28 Marvel characters and 28 Capcom characters, and now you pick teams of 3 characters. They also brought back the variable assists, and there's 3 versions of it that you have to pick from before starting a match. And it can be like an attacking thing or a healing thing. So that's the big differences in this game. Pretty big differences, too. Will, you go first on this one.
It's not my favorite one, but I have to be objective about it. It's the best one. Even though I don't gravitate towards it, but it's the best one. The 3D backgrounds, like all the extra characters, the music is just so many bops in this game. Even the freaking option music is a bop. It gets stuck in your head. It's the Naomi board, which is basically the Dreamcast, really adds, I think, to sort of it gets it out of the slump where we're all kind of in the same agreement that it's kind of samey in the middle, right, for this entire series of games. Whereas it's like a new fresh coat of paint. The one thing I'll just say personally, it's a little discouraging. Like we talked about Maximilian Dude earlier and the Justin Wongs and stuff. It's a little discouraging to play online because you're gonna get your ass handed to you no matter how many years you've been playing this. So it's kind of one of these. If you're not good, just stay out of the online spaces, I think, because you're just going to get absolutely destroyed. It's a little wacky. I find it gets a little too Mugen-y a little bit. I don't know if you remember Mugen. It was kind of the program on Windows where you could just get sprites and throw everything in.
Oh, Mugen's still a thing.
Is it? Sorry, Zangief and Mugen, Mugen. But I think it's the best out of all of them for sure, objectively. So I'll give it whatever my points were. I'm lost at this point. I think 10 points.
Okay. You have to change something later because you have 2 of them with 10 points and you can't do that. That's a tie. It's against the rules.
Oh, whoops. 9, and we'll give one.
Well, then you don't have.
I'll give 9 points.
All right, then you got 1 point to spare. You want to give it back to
give it exponential of the atom.
In
fact, you want to give this 0 and put it on exponential of the atom. This why not? The one complaint is the Dreamcast controller, that D-pad. I think I still have scars on my thumb from that. You really don't want to play on an actual Dreamcast unless you're using like the analog or an arcade stick. I think. And there was a few versions of this. It came out on like PlayStation 3, but then they delisted it because I think when Disney bought Marvel, there was like this was one of these games where like you had to pirate it if you weren't going to play it. If maybe because I don't think the other ones were released standalone on these shops or anything like that. But anyways, solid game. It's the best one out of it, and the music's really good.
Okay, who's next? Phoebe.
Yeah, this game is perfect. And it gives us so many different options for characters to play. You got Cable for the first time. You have a bunch of the Dogstalker characters. This game is ballsy enough to make new characters exclusive for it. And they work. Amingo and Ruby Heart are so fun. I wish they were in their own game. I love that my girl Trombone is in here. She plays as well as I remember her playing. She fucking rules so much. If I were to give any negative remarks towards this game, it's only that when this game released, Power Stone was a thing, and there are no Power Stone characters in this game because I love Power Stone. But my boy Strider is in here, and my girl Trombone are in here. Hell, they made like Roll playable, and yeah, she's playable in the last game, and here she's kind of like a joke. But if you can hit with her, you can work. You can do things. God, Thanos, Spiral, Shumagorath, like this. the lineup is so overly stacked, but everybody feels like they have their part. And like Zach said, the assist system of being able to choose what type of assist you want. Do you want to have Ryu be a projectile to attack them when they're bouncing in, or do you want them to extend their air combo by pulling off a Shoryuken while you're doing other stuff on the ground, getting ready? There's so many cross-ups that you can pull off in this game. Videos of this game are so incredible to watch. It feels so good to play, even if you're just a button masher. The amount of combo variety that you can do feels like you're a professional player. I love this game so much, it gets 18 points.
Okay. Michael, you're up. You got a lot of points to give here, buddy.
And I'm giving them all. I think this is really the only Marvel vs. Capcom game that you need. It's got all the characters. I love the three person teams. I love that there's no assist only characters. Everybody is playable. Again, you got Hiryu's perfect sword noise. There are Marvel characters that I like, that I want to be playing as, even though I'm mostly playing as Capcom characters. Jill Valentine is in it. What else do you want?
I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
It feels so good to play. It's like these games in this collection are either impossibly hard unless you're a pro fighting game player, or so incredibly easy that they don't feel like it's worth playing. I think this one gets the difficulty perfect. It's hard enough, but not cheaty. And I just think this is probably the best fighting game ever made, period. The Dreamcast version had the thing where you unlocked the characters by spending points, and you could get differently powerful versions of those characters. I love random stuff in games, and that had like random, like, this is the more powerful version of Bison, and sometimes you had to wait to buy your favorite character because you wanted the good version of that character, and I think that's cool. So I'm always disappointed when I load up a version of Marvel vs. Capcom and it just has all the characters. I'm like, well, that's no fun. But I think this game is an S tier easy. I think, like I said, I think it's the best fighting game that's ever been made. And I give it 25 points.
Okay. You guys remember GeoCities?
Mm-hmm.
Of
course.
Yes, absolutely.
Right
This
up there with
game is a
Tripod.
GeoCities website. They just did like all the different graphical tricks that they could do, and it looks ridiculous to me. Like everything, like the player select, it's like this orbiting player select text going around the globe of characters. The continue countdown is a ring of numbers that goes in and out of the screen. It's like any arcade board trick that they could do. They're like, we're putting it in, and it is too much, and it's garish, and I just put me off the design.
I
It's
just
called
heard that
Soul, Zach.
Oh my
I just
God,
heard
no.
that Zach hates GeoCities, and I've officially lost
Yeah.
a friend.
Oh, and that's as somebody who's made a horrible GeoCities website with everything.
Or Angel Fire guy.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, Angel Fire was also really good.
They had so many ideas and they did them all, and they really needed to edit it down. I was immediately put off by how many characters there were. I think I played one round. I didn't like having to, now I got to play through three characters. I got to pick all these different assist modes. I know that this game is acclaimed as one of the greatest video games of all time, but I do not get it. I had no fun. There's only one spot that this can go for me. It is the worst one. It is dead last, and I give it 0 points.
Watch that email box.
So California, right?
So lol.
Oh man.
Who wants to go on a field trip to go see Zach?
Wait, sorry, is it me, Zach?
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna have to agree with Zach. I wasn't gonna mention the whole
Whoa.
the GeoCities thing, but to me, I was gonna say this was more like a Cheesecake Factory menu, where you've got your favorites. Like I love dulce de leche cheesecake, but man, I think this is the only game I played on the console and not at a cabinet. And I really wanted to love this game, and I'm still so torn about this because I loved having so many more people to play, and the music and the artwork were awesome, and I don't know, I love a lot of the new characters, like Phoebe pointed out, like Cable, and goddamn, it was awesome to finally get to play Cable in this game. And then the Resident Evil characters and getting to play a tyrant, that was awesome. And man, I don't know if I was just aging out of the versus game genre and just really starting to get into first person shooters, but it just felt a little disjointed for me and not so balanced compared to Marvel versus Capcom. Like they had spent so much time cramming in and going, hey, you know what character would be cool? Let's throw in Mega Man's girlfriend. Let's throw in all these characters, and they didn't take the time to balance them out as much as I would have liked. Probably, I don't know. I think maybe it was exactly what Will said too that played into it, where every time I would play online, I would just get my ass handed to me by these people who would do these ridiculous combos, and because I wasn't as familiar with every character, I wouldn't know how to block these combos and these launchers that would so I'd basically just be in the air flailing and waiting for myself to not die.
It's your fault for playing a fighting game online. Jesus, what the hell were
I know.
you thinking?
And I know. But yeah, and I think it was just like, oh, this is what it feels like to be on the receiving end. And yeah, I think maybe if I hadn't played this online, it would be higher, but this is a 2 for me.
Wow.
Did you ever end up fighting the Wazzler?
That is insane. You're
What
going
was
up
that?
against murderers online, and that makes the game suck. Oh, too many characters to choose from. Oh no.
Well, it just feel like it wasn't as bad. Like I think if there's a 3, I'll definitely check it out because maybe it'll be a little bit more balanced. But yeah,
There is a 3. There's also a 4, but we don't talk about 4.
Yeah,
Was it
don't
4?
read the Steam reviews. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
It ends. It spiritually ends here at this one, I think.
So before we do the rank here, I know Will moved a couple of points already. Does anybody else want to move their points around? You can move up to 2 points.
Yeah, I'd like to give Children of the Atom a -2 and give Marvel vs. Capcom 2 a 20.
That would be breaking the rules. I guess I never said you can't give a negative score, but it was implied.
I'm going to take 1 point away from Children of the Atom, give it a 0, and give Marvel vs. Capcom 2 26 points.
Okay. So 0. Okay. Anybody else? I will say there's a tie that needs to be broken too, so we're going to get to that in a minute.
I think
X-Men's
this
tied for
is
0.
great because it's so polarizing.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
so
surprised I agreed with Zach.
we have a tie between Marvel Superheroes and Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter at 24 points. I could just move a point and break that tie.
What would you move it to?
Well, I would take one from Superheroes and one from vs. Street Fighter and give it to Superheroes, or vice versa.
I can do that too.
Which one?
I don't care. The everything.
I don't care.
Everything
I
except
care less.
for Marvel vs. Capcom
You can't.
2. I don't care about.
You can't do that because then you would have 2 scores with the same, or 2 games with the same
shit.
score. So, all right, yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put this down to a 1, and that up to a 12, even though that's an even number and I hate them. Okay, all right. Give me a second to just make sure I get these in the right order.
To math.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, Zach can actually do math for once.
Well, apparently I couldn't.
It's a spreadsheet doing the math.
That's true. And now I just gotta rank them in the right order here.
Sometime later.
All right. So at the bottom, number 6, we have Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter with 23 points. At number 5, we have Marvel Superheroes with 25 points. At number 4, we have Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes at 31 points. God damn it, we have a tie again. How did I miss that?
Children of the Atom.
How the fuck is Children of the Atom this high?
Children of the Atom is tied. Children of the Atom is tied at 31.
Okay, just whatever. Add a point for me.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Wait, hold on.
Tiebreaker.
You already moved 2 points, Will. I can still move a point. Does anybody want to move a point? Does anybody care?
Can I remove my 2 points for Capcom 2 and move it to Capcom, the first one? Marvel versus Capcom
2. You can, because you didn't give it a 0, or because you didn't give anything else a 0, and you want to give it to what?
Marvel versus Capcom.
I
don't think it probably won't move it that much.
What the hell is going on?
Marvel versus
This is
Capcom.
insane. Phoebe,
the first one. You want to go from this?
We have agreed to be on a podcast with a group of fucking maniacs.
Don't worry. Colby, stop crying. You're getting your way.
This is like Bill going, Metroid Dread again.
Okay, so 33. Clash of Superheroes 33. That's 31.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Okay, I'll try to sort out the order later. Let me make sure this still adds up correctly. It does not. What am I doing? Oh, I forgot to take it away from...
I would make a schmarmy Canadian, this is how Americans count their votes, joke, Trump joke, but we're going to get invaded soon by you guys, so I got to be on my best behavior.
Okay, so here we go. Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, 23 points. That's the bottom of the list. Marvel Superheroes, 25 points at number 5. X-Men Children of the Atom, 31 points at number 4. Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes at number 3 with 33 points. X-Men vs. Street Fighter with 45 points at number 2. And Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Superheroes tops it off at number 1 with 53 points. So Colby can stop crying about it. I don't care about any of these games, so I'm all right with it too. All right. So we got to talk about tiers now.
Well, I'm not gonna get my S tier, so Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in A, and then everything else in C.
Yeah, because S tier has to be unanimous, right?
Yes, S and F need to be unanimous. So Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter are number 6. I don't really care. That could be D, that could be F. Wait, did I like that one? Marvel that was my lowest ranked. No, second lowest ranked one. D, F, C. What do we got?
I put it in an A.
I put that as a D.
I don't hate any of these games enough to put them in F. So
Colby's always saying C.
C or D, I don't care.
Okay, what do you think, Will?
Oh, which one?
Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter.
Oh, I don't know. The only ones, okay. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, we'll put that S tier. Children of the Atom, we'll put that A tier. Marvel Street Fighter, we'll put B tier. We'll switch those two. Everything else you could put whatever you want, because I don't know. I'm indifferent to them because they're all kind of the same game.
I'm going to call this one C because
do it.
Phoebe says A, George and I say D, and you don't care, so that's basically a C, and that's what Colby said.
Sorry.
So I'm going to say that averages out to a C. Marvel vs. Superheroes. That is...
Like, am I allowed to say the same...
Yeah. Or they could all be C tier.
Yeah, tiers are whatever.
Okay, C.
That one's B for me. You say C?
C.
What else? C from Colby?
I'll go with D.
D from George. That's a C average. What do you got, Phoebe?
For Marvel Superheroes?
Yep.
A B.
A B. So, let's see. That's like a C plus or a B. Let's call it a C. X-Men Children of the Atom. That's definitely
S tier.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm going with S on that too.
F.
S, F. Phoebe, is that F?
Fucking F.
F.
Wait, if 2 A's and 2 F's, does that make it a C?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. But I give it an A Does that make it a B though? How does that average out? Probably not.
Fuck you! Don't do this.
Let's make it an A because we have a. Yeah, I think we got to call that one a C too. Unfortunately.
Thank God. For crap.
Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. That one is an F for me. I could talk up to it. Nah, it's an F. I'm gonna go with F.
Then I'm gonna go B. Let's get these all to a fucking C because they're all
right.
perfectly
What'd you say, George?
mediocre
I'm going
games.
S.
S? Okay. That's probably right. Phoebe?
MVC 1 gets an S rank.
S from you? Okay. What about you, Will?
Marvel vs. Capcom 1.
Yep.
I'll give it like an A. Yeah.
An A. All right. So I think that averages out to an A. An F, a B, 2 S's, and an A. So it's basically a B, an S, and an A. Yeah, I would say that's an A. And then X-Men vs. Street Fighter. That one was my favorite. That one's S from me.
Yeah, I give it an S too.
S from Will.
That was an A for me.
A from George. C from Colby.
Yeah.
Phoebe.
A.
A. All right. So that's definitely an A. And then nobody's going to agree on this one, so it's probably A because I don't think it's an S. I think it's F. New Age.
I am also an F.
MVC2. All right. S from Colby. S from Phoebe. S from Will.
I'll give it
an A. I'll give it an A.
I'll give it an A.
It's kind of it's not like one.
Unless you give it lower than an A, it doesn't matter. So.
Okay, I'll give it a B. A spite.
What the fuck?
For A or B for real?
B.
B. All right, then it's a B. Number 1 is a B.
See, this is
such a garbage.
Chaos.
This can't work. It
can,
didn't work in the Metroid rankings, and it doesn't.
It did
rank
work
here.
in the Metroid rankings. It did.
Will, this is not SNK versus Capcom. There's no chaos here.
When you guys take Quebec, this is what it's going to look like.
I would rather play SNK versus Capcom than Children of the Atom.
Okay, well, I now have a short quiz. I wasn't going to do one, but I did have time to throw something together. So there's one question per game. First one, X-Men Children of the Atom. Tough question here. 3 points. How do you unlock Akuma as a playable character in X-Men Children of the Atom?
Sorry, that was my buzzer.
That's fine. No,
Do I answer?
Yeah.
Okay. It's already unlocked on the collections if you press down. But in the arcade, I think you have to beat it, right?
That's one way.
On Sega Saturn, you have to beat it. But then, yeah, that's it. That's all I know.
Right. There's two acceptable answers, and one is you beat it. The other one, there's like you highlight spiral, wait 3 seconds, input left, right, up, right, down, and then wait 3 seconds, then hit low kick, high punch, high kick. If anybody knew that,
that was only in Children of the Atom, though, right?
Yes, that was what this question was about.
Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad.
So Will's got 3 points. Next game, Marvel Superheroes. This is an easy one. 1 point. What's the storyline of the Marvel Comics universe? What storyline of the Marvel comic universe is Marvel Superheroes loosely based on? I thought it was an easy game. An easy question.
Oh God. Dang.
The Age of Apocalypse?
No.
No.
Incorrect.
Search for the Infinity Gauntlet.
I'll give you credit for that. In the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Duh.
That's right.
So Phoebe gets 1. Next game, X-Men vs. Street Fighter. This is a medium hard question. 2 points. The arcade, Sega Saturn, and PlayStation versions of X-Men vs. Street Fighter have arcade mode, where you play against the CPU, and versus mode, where you play against another player. What are the 2 additional modes included in the PlayStation version?
See, who cares? Versus is the best one.
Team Battle, I think, is one. No?
It's not called that. I don't think that's... No, it's not. Sorry.
Okay, then I don't know.
Okay.
Dang.
Okay, Phoebe?
Online mode and training mode?
Training mode is correct. Is easy CPU opponents. Online mode is not. I'll give you 1 point. Anybody have guesses on the other mode? I will take that as a no. Survival mode. You have endless opponents. Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. This is another medium 2-point question. What advantage did the Saturn port of Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter have over the PlayStation port that earned it praise as being a nearly arcade perfect conversion?
4 meg cart.
Yeah, you have a 4 meg RAM expansion. That's correct. Will gets 2 more, putting him at 5. Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes is an easy one. The PlayStation port of Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes has an extra mode called Crossover that allows 4-player tag team fighting. The Dreamcast version, however, has a mode called Cross Fever. What does this mode allow?
4 players, but you have to be sick.
It's a good guess. I like it. Half a point for creativity.
4-player and everybody's stuck on turbo and randomized characters?
Nope. Everybody's on the right track with 4 players, though. No guesses?
I have a different guess.
Go for it.
4 players, 1 character.
Oh, that would be interesting. No, it's 2 versus 2 at the same time.
Damn.
Huh.
Marvel, is this the last one, right? I didn't skip one, did I? No, okay, last one. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes. This one is hard, so 3 points for the full answer. Name all 56 playable characters. No, I'm just kidding. What special feature was unique to the Japanese Dreamcast and arcade versions? I'll give you a hint. You should take that question as a whole. The feature was unique to both the Japanese and arcade version. No guesses.
Extra character?
Nope.
Voice
Online
acting.
play?
What?
Oh.
Sorry, what did you say, Phoebe?
I said like full voices, not just during attacks, but like during
Oh, that would be so annoying.
intros and post-match dialogue.
Nope. What did the Dreamcast have that no other console
VMU.
had?
Oh shit,
The
online.
VMU. The
VMU.
VMU.
Oh, VMU.
Will's got it. I would give you the point, Will, but you're already winning. So,
Give it the until the atom.
No.
So Will wins the quiz with 5 points. Phoebe has 2, and Colby has a half a point. George does his usual 0.
I don't know if I don't.
yeah,
I think if you
Zangief.
win, you lose. I don't think.
I think even like
I'm
Children of the Atom,
embarrassed.
you lose. So,
George, do you want to redeem?
Yeah.
Do you want to redeem yourself? This was Will's idea. Do you want to redeem yourself with doing impersonating any announcer from any of the games? Anybody want to get some extra
No.
points? Not that it would matter. Okay, so that's it for our Marvel vs. Capcom ranking episode. Next up, we should be returning to the AVPCU series with Prometheus from June 8th, 2012. Will, would you like to plug any and all of your stuff?
Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on. I
Thanks
like
for coming.
Prometheus. When I left the movie theater, that fucked my brain up. And I know the donut. She's run away from the donut. It's a movie. Like, just chill. Just chill. All right. Indiana Jones ran from the ball, and he could have probably.
He was in a cave.
That was a tunnel.
Yeah, but maybe he could have ran up it, or I don't know. Anyways, so right now, the thing that I'm really into lately is I'm making music on a Nintendo DS, and I just released a new album called Avocado Toasty 2, which is on Oxygenfad.com. So it's like breakcore kind of mixed with like Amiga, like kind of lo-fi module kind of music. It's like ironic rave. It's total hipster shit. It's like ironic rave, like kind of whatever, all made on a Nintendo DS. It's funny and it's loud, and yeah, that's kind of the thing that I've been into lately. So that's pretty much it. I'm not sure if I'm going to come back with the podcast stuff, but yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Phoebe.
Yeah, you can find me over on YouTube and Twitch as the Let's Play Princess. I'm currently streaming Paranormicide. It's a very good visual novel made by Square Enix. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky as the LP Princess. And you can find me as one of the co-hosts of a lovely little podcast called Nerds of Broadcast, where I keep vouching about Crow Killers, a silly fucking webcomic that just gets crazier and crazier. You can probably find me on a bunch of other podcasts like Games My Mom Found and Jack Billing Presents King of the Big House because Colby is awesome.
Games My Mom Found is a very interesting sounding podcast. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, they get a lot of different guests all the time, but I think all of the rest of us have been on it. If you ever want to be on it, just jump on the Discord. And he has guests all the time. So, Colby, what about you?
The previously aforementioned Jack Billings Presents, a audio sitcom, and pretty soon, I think the first episode of April features our very own Zach as a guy so boring that he's used as torture. I
can't believe you trusted me to be able to have the range to be so boring. It was incredibly hard for me to do.
It's a wacky show, and I think you'll enjoy it. Or if you're into more normal podcast, don't let me say normal podcasts. If you're into more traditional podcasts, This Bizarre Adventure, where me and my podcast soulmate B. Hyland talk about the anime JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Nice.
Definitely not normal.
Steel Ball Run. Let's go.
Yeah, we're doing Steel Ball Run as it comes out, so
nice.
I'm very excited.
George, do you have anything? I don't know. I feel like I always skip over you because I assume you don't. Sorry.
Yes, you can find me online playing as Zangief.
For God's sake.
So, I'm co-hosting Retro Game Club quite a bit. Also, in the aforementioned Games My Mom Found, I've been on there frequently. And Phoebe reads a lot of my emails all the time on Nerds of Broadcast, and sometimes I pop in as well. I would like to shout out the music, opening and closing music for this episode. Again, Soaring Through 8-Bit Skies by Seven Castle Forest. Check out his work. I'll put a link to his YouTube and Twitch channel in the show notes, and I'll put everybody else's links in there as well. If you want to contact us, you can email us at absolutelythebestpodcast@gmail.com. You can join our Discord. There's a link in the show notes where we also have some links to our socials and a couple ways that you could help support the show. Please leave us a review and help us spread the word. Tell a superhero, tell a martial artist, and tell a mutant. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.
Bye.
Woot. Bye.
Bye.
Absolutely the Best Podcast is a production of Audio Johnny, a subsidiary of Corporation Johnny. Corporation Johnny. If it exists, we own it.
Okay, as far as I know, only me and Will are doing the OST rankings.
Yeah,
okay?
I did not.
Yeah,
That's-
I got to get
that's-
ready for
to-
work, and also
It's all right. We got to get rid of the riffraff anyway.
Yeah, I'll listen in.
All right. So let's rank the OSTs.
Is this a
for
bonus
these
round?
games. Yeah. Here we
For
go.
Patreon subscribers.
I usually just stick it at the end. Actually, I was worried that we were going to go super long with that other one. I was thinking about maybe
Me
chopping it
too.
up. Let's see how long this takes. I might chop
we'll
it up
zip
into
through
two,
it.
but yeah.
We'll zip through it.
So, I honestly don't remember the music from the games that much, so I kind of just went through all the OSTs, listening to probably just a few seconds from a lot of tracks. I was like, nope, not for me. But I'm just basically we'll do some general comments about each one and maybe something like the top 3 tracks. I think we prepared some music samples we're going to try to play too. And George, you are participating or
I'm just
just chiming
listening.
in here? Okay, cool.
Since
You're the
I played in
audience?
the cabinets, it was more like the tears of the people that I beat was the music that I had.
I can't believe you played Children of the Atom on a cabinet, because I've never seen one of those before. I've seen the other ones, but I've never seen that one. Yeah.
I'm old.
It's a rare. Well, we're all. Death is a fate shared by us all. So that's why we play video games, to forget about it. So,
Yep.
Unless you're playing Resident Evil. So, which one do you want to start with? Do we have like an order?
Yeah, but I just figured we'd go same order, basically the same rules, but
Look
we're
at
only
these notes. Look at
we're
all
only-
these freaking notes I wrote on the music.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Basically the same rules, but we're talking about the OSTs instead of the games. So first one, X-Men Children of the Atom, the composers for that I saw, and I'm going to murder every one of these names because I am really bad with trying to pronounce anything Japanese, but like Anaki Takapon, Suyun Nishigaki, that one was okay. Hideki Okay, or Hideki Ak, I think it's probably okay. Iseo Ave, oh boy, I don't even know what that one is. That one's like spelling error scribbled out almost. Can't even read it. Anyway, sorry to that guy or girl. Will, you want to go first on this one?
I think the music on this one is incredible. But you know, how do I say this? Let's just explain sort of kind of the phenomena of an earworm first, okay? You go to McDonald's and you hear Britney Spears Toxic and you're like, I hate this shit. But you go into McDonald's the next day and then you hear it again. And then you go to Subway and then you go to this. And then, 30 years later, you got Toxic by Britney Spears stuck in your head for some stupid reason.
Like I do now.
So, yeah. So now, like for me, X-Men Children of the Atom, I played that game so much that the songs are just ingrained in the neurons, right? Like the myelination of my brain is configured to like the songs. So I don't know if they're actually good, but being as objective as I can, I mentioned it earlier, Children of the Atom is kind of at the tail end. It's like there's pre-Kurt Cobain, there's Kurt Cobain, and then post-Kurt Cobain. And I feel like that was like in utero. And then after, there was like a new dawn of what they were doing. Because you hear on the next game, I got to look at the spreadsheet, sorry. The next game was Marvel Superheroes. The music changes like dramatically. It has more of the Street Fighter Alpha sound. It has like all like the samples and the instruments are basically using whatever sound that they were using for the Alpha games. For X-Men Children of the Atom, it's a sound set that it seems agnostic from the rest of them, like or isolated. And the style is like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Prog, like Frank Zappa. It's super complex. It's the bridges, the verses, the instrumentation is just insane. Like when you study it and you're listening to it, you're going like, holy fuck, this is a guy who was wearing a suit and a tie going to a cubicle who had like a little tiny Roland MIDI box using Cubase. It's a feat of musical composition. It turns out that one of the composers went on to do like a Madoka Magica and a bunch of like big anime stuff. But anyways, I think it's some of the best music you're going to get in the series. If I had to rate it, I gave it a 20, maybe a little biased or whatever, but I gave it a 20 because the rest sort of fall into kind of the territory of the 90s Chemical Brothers mania, rave cultures, people doing like angel dust at raves kind of culture.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The X-Men Children of the Atom is kind of this just its own thing.
All right,
and that's
cool.
it.
Yeah, I do want to say when I listed the composers before, wherever I got the information from had a typo. The first name wasn't Anarchy, it was Anarchy. There's like an R missing and an E in there for some reason. I don't know, because I'd see that person on the next one as well. But anyways.
If I could add just the bangers real quick, sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Opening title, banger. Moon Knight, that's Psylocke's theme.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to play it? Do you have any of that to play or no? It's up to you.
It's been a busy week. It's been
okay,
a
that's
busy
fine.
week.
Yeah.
And that was my idea, and I apologize. So
you could probably find it on YouTube.
On the Blackbird Storm, that's a good one. The bass line, the leads or whatever, but those are the two ones that if you want to hear a clip of it or whatever, those are the best ones for sure. But the best stage is Mojo stage or Spiral stage, and then the Omega Red stage is if you go 30 seconds into that song, it's magic. Great songs.
Nice. I did do my homework that you suggested.
Yeah.
So I kind of broke this down to like bad, good, and otherwise. I think I only have bad and good here. So first of all, I hate the Iceman theme song. It's really bad. It's like, ooh, is that really loud? Turn that down.
No, that's good. It's original, dude.
It just sounds like you should be on the beach. It's like Donkey Kong Country. I'm not saying that it's not original.
Wait. It's gonna go into the verse, bro. This is good.
It sounds like Donkey Kong Country, though. How is this representative of Iceman? So
okay, maybe it doesn't match the energy, but standalone.
I don't know. Sure, standalone. It's fine.
You can cut it off.
So
Okay,
then
we get it.
I also thought that the staff roll was real bad.
Oh yeah,
Is that-
I didn't include those.
Is it playing?
Nice. This is awesome,
X-Men.
though.
Yeah. So
This is
bad.
great.
Yes.
You're not gonna do cardio to this?
Well, maybe. It does have the right beat for
This
it.
is awesome. This is awesome.
Okay, so moving on to the good. I think you mentioned the intro song, right? I really like that. The opening title is really, really good.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, that gets you pumped and going. You can't argue with that.
Listen to that bass, man.
Yeah. It's a short
The
song,
guitar.
too.
That's like a fake guitar.
And then I really liked Magneto's stage as
Yes.
well. This one was pretty dope. I forget if it gets right into it or not. Yeah. It's dark. Like, you can tell some shit's about to go down. I like it. And then where is the last one? Here, my last one would be the ending theme. The theme of battle, I guess it's called.
It's like Motley Crue.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's pretty metal. It's not bad. So, those would be my top 3 tracks in that order. Intro, then Magneto, then the ending being the best one.
But
So-
you have to realize, like, that's not a real guitar player. That's like some MIDI. That's some MIDI shit. That's like some guys like doing all dragging and dropping on a. It's not Windows 95. This was made in 1994. What the hell was this guy using?
Yeah, I don't know. Windows
3.1
or whatever came before that. So yeah, this was my number 1, and I gave it 13 points. So I think we were in agreement there.
Cool.
You just felt a little more strongly about it.
Yeah.
So the next one is Marvel Superheroes, and this was done. The credit I first saw was Capcom Sound Team, but that's Anarchy, Takapon, Yuki, Wave, Satomura, and Suzuki Tatsuro. So I have a little more to say on this one. The first being the bad, which starts with Magneto.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
See, you hear kind of the traditional techno sounds. Like,
Yeah.
If you hear the snare, that kind of sounds like a Roland 909.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mesh as well as, it's trying to be metal but techno at the same time, but not in a cool way like Rammstein.
I'm laughing at my own joke. Because if you hear
you're gonna need to turn the music down and your mic up because I can't.
Okay, sorry, I turned it down.
No worries.
So I'm laughing at my own joke because the main theme, that whatever MIDI device that is, it sounds like an auto-tuned squeaky fart, and I just don't like it.
Turn down the music a little bit more because I can't.
Really? Okay. Is that better?
Just pause the music.
I was just saying that it sounds like an auto-tuned squeaky fart.
Bro. But you could tell, like, it's the two styles and it's just not meshing together because of the electronics, it's interesting and it's remarkable, but you could tell, and it also sounds a lot. I'm not sure if you're familiar with like Street Fighter Alpha, the Street Fighter Alpha series.
A little bit, but
yeah, but it's like it sounds like it just sounds like they took it, randomized the notes a little bit, and then was like, yeah, here's the song.
Just made it a little lazy. Legally distinct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I thought you know Steve Vai, right? Like
Yeah,
Steve
of
Vai just
course.
so I think the
Yeah.
Captain America theme, I don't love it, but I thought it was okay, and it kind of reminded me of like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani. Is that loud enough to hear? Whoops. No, it's not. He's gonna get into it. A little bit, yeah.
It's pretty good.
So, let's see what else. Oh, I also thought that the snare drum sounds like Lars Ulrich's snare on Saint Anger. It's like that. Like it's like you're hitting a keg.
Okay, yeah.
On the good side, the Juggernaut theme reminded me a lot of. Wait, I got two songs for you. So here's first the Juggernaut theme. Here, we'll get into it. Turn it up a little. Like that. It is very techno. I agree.
Yeah.
And then what that reminded me of was in True Romance when he goes to Drexel's place and he's got that techno music playing. It's I Want Your Body by Necromancer.
That's
Nymphomania.
the 909.
Yeah.
The drum machine, the 909.
Yeah. Probably the same one, yeah. It totally reminds me of that. Like,
Yeah.
right when you get to the verse, especially, or the chorus, I mean. Where is that? From the chorus.
That. This is awesome, though.
Anyways. Oh,
I love that shit,
that was the part I was thinking of. This. That sounds so much like a lot of the music in this soundtrack.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Opening theme again was pretty good. I could play a little bit of that if you want. I think that's pretty short too.
Trash can snare.
Yep.
Can't unhear it.
Sorry if I ruined that for you.
This is a double kick, though.
Yeah. And then
Lars cannot drum that good.
No, he's not. He's really overrated.
Yeah.
The Blackheart theme I thought was pretty good. This one reminds me of Castlevania music a lot.
Yeah.
And the Iron Man theme I thought was pretty good. Good use of the left and right channels here. I don't know if you can hear it when I'm playing it, and the podcast I put out in mono, so you're not going to be able to tell, but go seek this one out.
Fine.
So that's my top three. Blackheart, then the opening theme, then Iron Man. Overall, I thought that this one had higher highs, but also lower lows. So this is my number 2, and I gave it 11 points.
Yeah. No, that's good. I like those clips. You know, that it's funny that, man, when you hear those electric guitars, it's so weird how, you know, back then, right, when this came out, like that's like what, 1995, everybody's listening to, you know, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins and stuff, and you would hear this and you'd be like, man, this music sucks. This is trying to be real music. Fuck this. Like, no one listened to game music. They would turn it down, right? It was only until the Tony Hawk era where you would kind of, but then in the early 2000s, people kind of were listening to video game music ironically, like chiptune and stuff.
That's still the best.
Yeah, but the thing is, now people are unironically going back and listening to these songs from the 90s, like for what they were, not these copies by like some guy who just was punching in and punching out, making music for a kid's video game, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think these songs are supposed to be analyzed on a podcast, right? but they work. And I don't know if it's because of just like the sands of time or what, like just being around for so long that it has that effect that I was telling you before, like with the Britney Spears and the McDonald's. But you could really overanalyze these and be like, there is some shit going on in these songs, right?
We have a question from the Peanut Gallery or a comment.
Sure. Yeah. Well, was it because of like, was it ever since like Grand Theft Auto when people started realizing, oh shit, music in video games can actually be pretty decent? Because I remember that being the first time that I actually really paid. I'm like, oh hey, like I know this song, and I actually
Tony Hawk.
like these songs.
Don't forget Tony Hawk.
Right?
Oh yeah, Tony Hawk was kind of the beginning of that, but Grand Theft Auto amplified it. Yeah, because Tony Hawk was only like punk, but like, you know, and punk and sort of metal and rap, but like Grand Theft Auto had like Moving Shadow Records, which is like drum and bass. They had like legit shit going on in the early Grand Theft Autos, Grand Theft Auto 3 and that. So yeah, you're right.
So how many points did you give that one?
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. When I did the when I did the ranking for the points here, I gave Exponential in the Atom a 20, and I gave everything a 1, a 2, a 1, a 1, and a 2.
All right, you can't repeat.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it.
You have 42. Don't you have 42 points to work with though? Right.
God damn. Okay, let's give it a 10. Let's give it a 10.
All right. We'll wing yours as we go.
I'm gonna wing it.
Okay, next one. X-Men vs. Street Fighter. This was composed by Yuki Iwai.
Yeah.
And
she's the one that went on to do the anime.
Okay. And Yuko Kadota. Kadota. Yes. You're first on this one.
It's the music is it kind of goes back to kind of the rock and roll kind of roots from what I hear, but it's still doing a lot of the Street Fighter Alpha crossover type stuff. And even the sprites in the game were basically from Street Fighter Alpha. We didn't mention that in the main show, but the Ken sprite is from Street Fighter Alpha.
Okay.
All the Street Fighter, they're reusing a lot of stuff. Yeah. And I think to George's point on our Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where it just feels like they took everything that they had laying around and throwing it in one thing, but the music on this one I think is pretty good too, but it's not, for me, the standouts are X-Men Children of the Atom and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So I don't really have anything to say about them.
All right, so you just set me up to do a lot of work, I see.
You have to do a lot of work. I've been at my parents' place, and it's been to get 10 minutes to myself. It's been a little difficult.
Yeah.
So,
you saved it all up for this. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I just thought that a lot of these sounded the same, and they all have. I have some samples we'll play in a minute, but they all have the same synth oboe sound, and I don't like it. It's not good. I think my top 3. They're just the ones I didn't think were awful. So the Gambit theme is kind of okay.
Yeah.
I hate that.
The snare change though, right?
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. And it's going back to kind of the rock kind of vibe or whatever.
It definitely does not have the techno beat.
Yeah.
The Juggernaut theme is all right too. I just hate that main instrument sound.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
And then the last one that I thought was passable is, for George's sake, I'll say Zangief, but it's really the Zangief stage.
Which one? Oh,
Zangief.
Yeah, but see, the thing is with a lot of these, they just redo the Street Fighter themes, and they're kind of inferior versions of the OG Street Fighter themes, you know what I mean? You want to hear the one that you're kind of used to.
I don't know them, a lot of them, I don't remember, so I will take your word for that, but I'm just saying for this particular OST, these are the ones that I thought were okay. So
the one that you just played was basically the same one from Alpha 2. But they just kind of jazzed it up a little bit. Yeah.
All right. Well, this was my number 5 overall, and I gave it 2 points.
Okay, I'm going to give it...
I forgot your points.
Okay, so I put 10 for the last one, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to put a 2 for this one.
All right. We are in agreement.
Okay.
You have 10 points to play with here.
Okay.
Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. This is same composers as last one, Yuki Iwai and Yuko Kadota. Most of it has that stupid oboe fart laser sound again. Which we
can skip it. We can skip them if you want.
I want.
Okay.
This is the Wolverine theme, which I thought was okay, but it's just ruined by that sound. Let me jump. Oh, there it is.
It's funny that you mentioned it, because if you don't like that sound, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Because they use it everywhere.
Yeah. There's a sound for the soundtrack, and they go with it. Yeah. And then what was next? Shumagorath was okay. This all seems slower too.
Sounds like Tool or something.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Let me jump ahead a little bit. Maybe this one. Oh, I think I grabbed the wrong one. I think this is Shumagorath ending. No, that's what I have written down. I don't know. It's okay. I stand by it's okay.
Yeah.
Theme of Apocalypse was pretty good. I kind of dig this one. So, almost getting back to the techno beat, but not quite. And I thought the hidden theme...
that lead?
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
no, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that lead that you hate, like the lead sound, the oboe,
Yeah.
is all over a bunch of other Capcom games.
Oh, great. I can avoid those.
Yeah, from that era. Just an FYI.
So the...
Like it's here.
Yeah, the hidden character theme is also pretty good. Again, all of them would have been better if they used slightly different MIDI instrument or whatever.
But Zach, this is perfect. This is a perfect way to kind of illustrate what I was saying. Like when you listen to the X-Men Children of the Atom music, totally different than those other ones, right?
Yep.
It's totally different. Like these ones, it's not that they're bad. They're okay songs, but it's like kind of phoned in. They're reusing shit from like the other games, reusing that same instrument from other games. It's kind of sort of part of like the Capcom motif that they had at that era. But Children of the Atom is like, this is why I think the game is so great. You know, the music is like really good. The stages are really original. Like just sort of everything about it just stands out, as opposed to like you have Children of the Atom, a bunch of stuff in the middle, and then you have Marvel vs. Capcom 2, right? And it shows like kind of when you're looking at the music. We're going to go to the next one, and the music's going to kind of be the same shit.
Yeah, so
right?
I would agree with you 100% on that, because Children of the Atom is definitely stands out, and the rest of them like they're kind of all the same. I think the last one is different, but in a worse way, and we'll get to that. Spoiler alert. So, but yeah, so my top three would be Apocalypse, the hidden character Shumagorath. That's 1, 2, and 3. This is my number 3, and I would give it 9 points.
I'm gonna give it 1 point.
Okay, wow, you really didn't like this one. All right, and then next we have Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes by Yuko Takahari and Masato Kauda. You are first on this one.
Like I said, until the next one, it's all kind of forgettable. This one's a little bit different, though. I remember it being kind of more, a little bit more upbeat, and there was kind of some more fun stuff going on. But it's still not. It's not as remarkable as the other ones, from what I remember.
Yeah, agreed.
I do, but the one thing I will point out is the announcers on all of these games are great when you like put in your credits and then you hit start. You know, the Marvel versus Capcom and all that stuff. And I didn't have the samples ready, but people in internet land should go check it out because it's pretty funny. Just where they're screaming out the title of the fucking arcade game,
right?
So they're like in your face.
That's how they attract you.
Yeah, but so I'm gonna say not remarkable. I'm just waiting for the next one to pop up. But if I want to hear the clips, so we could chat about it.
All right. Wait a minute. Are we on? Which one are we on? Marvel vs.
Capcom.
Right. So how many points did you give that one? Sorry.
Oh, well, I'll give it 3. Or can I give it 0? No, I'll give it 3. I'll give it 3.
Okay.
I'll give it 3. All
right. 3 points. Okay, so now this is the last one. No, yes, we are on the last one, right? No, I got to do this one.
Yeah,
I'm getting lost as where I am. So yeah, they definitely turned the fart knob down on the oboe laser for this one, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
I still don't like most of it though. Everything it's too jaunty, which kind of goes for some of the other tracks on the other OSTs too. But they really turned up the jauntiness on this one. So my top 3 starts with the Captain Commando theme. It's not bad.
That's a good ride. More cowbell, more ride cymbal.
Yeah. And then Strider Hiryu. This one's okay.
Oh yeah, Strider's a good one.
Long introduction on that one.
Yeah.
And then it's
a lot better.
Yeah. And then number 1, I got to give to the Mega Man theme. I don't love the remix, but it's the best song on the soundtrack for me.
Yeah.
So this one just edges out X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and it comes in at number 4 for me, and I gave it 7 points.
Okay. So now this is the meat and potatoes. This
All right,
is
here
the
we
one
go.
that the internet is going to...
Well, they already got it as the best game, so...
Yeah.
So Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes by Tetsuya Shibata and Mitsuhiko Takano. I had written down a while ago that it was like smooth jazz, but then I think you had sent that jazz fusion thing about it, and it's definitely like a lot of like Price is Right music energy to it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why. Maybe I think this is sort of around the era of like kind of the Cardigans. You remember? I think the guy, it was like Mike Flowers and like the orchestra, and they would do like Wonderwall, but it was like loungy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It was kind of during kind of the Space Channel 5 era, and I think this was kind of the play on the sort of sassy, like London socialite kind of vibe, and just magnified by the Japanese magnifying glass that they tend to shine on like international trends, because it just kind of goes sideways from everything that we're used to up to that point. You know, it's like this Latin kind of like prog, or not prog, but like jazzy kind of smooth jazz thing. But it adds to kind of the chaos that you have in this game, where you have kind of all these extra characters that are just kind of slammed together. So it's like, why not make it jazzy, right? And just to add to the humor of it all. I don't think the game's humor would, because it's a very like funny game, I guess. Like there's a humor element to it. I don't think the game would have. I don't think it would have been. It needed this music in order to represent the game in a way that it needed to be represented. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I think I totally misunderstood the game then, because I don't. Why should a fighting game be funny? I don't know. It doesn't.
But you have like Jill Valentine come out and like with her gun, and then shoots, and then she like kind of bounces away, and you have like a zombie in it. They had all these assets that were just kind of laying around, and they threw them in this thing. And I don't know if they would have went the old formula with the music. I don't think it would have kind of. I don't think players would have understood that this was this wacky party kind of Capcom fighting game. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So, but I don't know what was in their mind when they did. Like, Japanese game developers are fucked to begin with. So I don't know what's going through their brains.
Yeah. So I do want to play a little bit of something just to give people an idea. This is the factory stage.
God, those drums though, holy shit though.
Yep. I agree. The drums are great. None of this says fighting game to me.
This is Terry Bozzio.
Yeah. It's all technically very good, well done music, but why are you putting this?
Why is it in there? Exactly.
So for me, like the game that this comes from, it's easily the worst of the bunch. It's dead last, and I gave it 0 points.
Was that the only music clip you had?
That was the only one I had, because I don't want to hear a lot of it.
Yeah, and I think you might actually take down notices for this. This one's like a pretty popular one.
Yeah,
like the character select song is like iconic and that. But going back to what I was saying before, I don't think that was live recorded. I think that was all sequenced on like a freaking computer with like a MIDI, you know. Yeah. But those drums are. Those are some of the best. That's some of the best drums you're going to hear.
I mean,
if you're starting a band.
They could have had a drum machine and been recording the hits, and then you just tweak it to get it dead on or whatever. But it's
like
great.
If you were starting a band and you needed a drummer, and that guy's like, "This is my demo," you'd be like, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah.
Like this is like Terry Bozzio. This is like Frank Zappa. But so I'll give the remaining of my points to that. But you didn't like it.
6 points. Not really. That's fine. Doesn't matter. It's all for fun. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't come prepared, Zach.
That's all right.
This is my idea.
All right, so at the bottom, we have, with 4 points, X-Men vs. Street Fighter. And at number 5, with 6 points, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes. At number 4, with 9 points, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. At number 3 with 11 points. Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. At number 2 with 21 points. Marvel Superheroes. And surprising no one with 33 points. In at number 1 is X-Men Children of the Atom, as it should be.
I'm glad it won.
I was pretty sure it was safe with the way that both you and I ranked it.
Yeah, and for the listeners, I just want to say I poked Zach into doing this, and then I was like, "We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this." And then I was like, but I think we did pretty good. I think we got the point across. I think one of the most important factors of the success of this game was the music, and I think one of the key takeaways of this game, a game that reuses sprites, was the music, right? Like for this kind of series or whatever. And Children of the Atom and Marvel vs. especially with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like all this shit is just reused. This is just sprites from other games. They had to have something in there, right? They couldn't. What are they going to do? Reuse the old music? I think they did for some of it, but they had to do something, you know.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for suggesting this. Thanks for taking the time while you're on vacation.
Yeah,
having a ton of fun at your parents' place, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've just been playing Resident Evil 9.
Yeah, I finally did. I did get a physical copy. It should be arriving tomorrow. I did have to go through eBay, but it wasn't outrageous. There was one guy. I was planning on telling this story on Retro Game Club, but I'll tell it now real quick.
Yeah.
And I can reuse it if I really want to. But so I wanted the physical copy because there's that Generations, right? And it's 7, 8, and 9 all in one.
Oh, you got
right?
it.
Yeah, yeah. So sorry,
Nice.
that's what I meant to say. I got the Generations. So I haven't played any of those.
They're great.
I will start with 9 because I'm dying to play that one. But
yeah.
So I think it was listed for $90 or maybe $100. Like if you had pre-ordered it, it had totally missed my radar. I couldn't find it anywhere for sale from a legit place. I actually did find it at one place. They let me place the order, and then like 2 days later, they were like, "Oh, this is not going to be back in stock. So you can have store credit, or if you want, we can refund your credit card, but there might be some refund fees, or whatever." And I was like, "That's bullshit." So I actually got to check to make sure if they actually refunded me yet or not. But I just sent. I was like, "You will refund me every cent to my credit card, because otherwise I'll just complain to the credit card company and I'll get it all back anyway."
Chargeback.
It's
people hate
call.
chargebacks.
Yeah, your call. Like, tell me how you want to handle it. So then they're like, "Oh no," well, so I gotta check. But so anyways, then I looked on eBay and somebody wanted like $149.45, or no, $149.59, I think it was. Not that important to the story. And I was like, that's too much. Like, I'm not gonna pay that much. I was like, I would pay upwards of like 100. I think I would pay 135 for it. Is what I was thinking. I was like, that's still more than I should have to pay, but that's my limit. But I knew that if I offered 135, then they're going to be like, okay, 142 or something like that. So I said 125, and the guy comes back with 149 flat. And I just wrote back, I'm like, you got to come down more than 59 cents, man. And I was like, and then I did 128 or something like that. I still like went low. And then he came back with 149 again. And so I just declined, get wrecked. And I was just like, whatever, I won't get it. And then I just happened to check again the other day, and somebody wanted 135 for it. Buy it now, no offer. I was like, okay, fine, I'll just buy that one. So I got it for what I was willing to pay, and it should be arriving tomorrow.
Scalpers, my God. Just let's rank punishments for scalpers. No, it's a good game. It's a good game. You're gonna love it. Cool. I suggest playing it on casual first because
I'm a cash.
But those games are so scary that like it's so stressful when you're trying to reload and stuff. I just don't want to deal with that on the first playthrough.
I mean, even Resident Evil 4, even on my 10th replay through that on like the 4th system I played it on or whatever, I get to that part where you go through the jail cells and you can hear the reanimator going, and I'm like, I got to take a break. I can't do this right now.
Yeah, you'll rage quit. So, you're going to rage quit a couple of times in this one, but
I'll scare quit. Anyways,
thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Let's make something else happen again in the future.
Yeah, I'm glad we did this because I don't know, it just made sense. You guys are a Marvel podcast. It's like this came out. It's like,
a good idea.
This is the one. Yeah, so I think we got some clips out of there or whatever.
All right. Cool.
Christ, now
thanks for sticking around, George.
Now I don't even know if I'm ever going to play the games ever again. Now I think I'm all.
Well, I gave my copy to Phoebe so she could play them all. And I was like, I don't care if I get it back. So
Really?
it's fine. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, yeah, if you were to play this in another way, the ROM file size, I didn't mention this on the main show. It's like 500 kilobytes for Children of the Atom. They're
that's
tiny
worth it.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tiny games. Yeah. So, all right, cool. See you, gentlemen.
All right.
Thank you very
Take
much.
care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
That was a fun one.
Superwill64.com presents.
Trigger warning. The following podcast contains irresponsible behavior, crude humor, violent images, and strong language. This is not a safe space. Please do not listen if easily offended. This video is a work of comedy and is not intended to offend or be taken seriously. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, it's me, French Pet. You're listening to another episode of French Pet Talks About Nothing while playing video games. The show where French Pet talks about nothing while playing video games. Enjoy!
Turn on mobile notification to never miss an episode of French Pet.
French Pet talks about nothing but playing video games.
Like, subscribe, and share, you stupid piece of shit. You know I'm funnier than half the other you.
Live from the bowels of retro gaming hell, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, prepare to meet your 16-bit master, French Pet. French Pet is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Oh, you froze. This is...
Sorry, no, my kid came in and asked me for something. Can you...
Uh-oh.
Have to edit out his name.
I have to do everything for you?
Well, you have to undo everything you just did.
Shit.
What just happened?
I'm glad I lifted up on the mute right then.
Should be like, if this was 1988...
Hey guys, I got to turn off my camera for a minute.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Where's that wooden spoon?
Dude,
You're going to call it out. You're going to wooden spoon.
Will, did you get through your plug? Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. It's nothing to plug.
Okay.
Resident Evil 9. Good game.
Yeah, I'm on that pretty soon. Let's see.
Sometime later.
Okay, cool. I'm going to take a 2-minute break to go pee, and I will be right back. And hit my kid. Just kidding.
Oh, wow.
All right, cool.
Bye.
Somebody
Well,
quickly
nice
sample
meeting-
that. Call
Thank you,
Child
Phoebe and
Protection
Colby, by the way.
Services.
CPS, Capcom CPS board.
God damn it.
That's what it was called. All right, nice meeting y'all.
Nice
Bye-bye.
meeting you, man. Have a
Bye.
good one.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
so
I'm surprised
Sorry?
at how much everybody hated or how much I'm surprised at how much everybody disliked Marvel vs. Capcom.
yeah,
And then in favor of Capcom 2. I mean, I like both, but I don't know. I feel like one was definitely more balanced than the other, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think anybody really played them as you have to play them a lot in order to really, I think, appreciate what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you have to start in the 90s. I don't think you could be
Yes.
like, oh, it's 2026, the year of Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6, and then okay, I'm gonna go play this ROM that's 500 kilobytes. Like it is the game size is 500 kilobytes on a bunch of these. It's like
Wow.
less than an MP3. Yeah. So, but they're all good. It's just and I agree with what you were saying about Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I just didn't want to get too negative on it or whatever. But
yeah.
it feels like Mugen at some point, and I think that honestly, I think that game it kind of tanked fighting games in general because there was like a stagnation of 2D fighting games around that era, right? And people
Yeah.
were starting to do Mugen on Windows 98 or whatever the hell we had, then Windows XP, and so you don't really see any 2D fighting games from that era until later, you know.
Yeah, it's been a while,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
And so Dan is the character that they made to make fun of SNK because at Fatal Fury and King of Fighters were always ripping off Street Fighter. Right. So the guys at Capcom, they were like, okay, let's just make a character that is like an SNK character. So it's like they made a character that's like a rip-off of like a Street Fighter character.
Yeah,
that's
it does.
shitty.
I mean, it just looks like a reskinned Ken, basically.
But when you play Fatal Fury and all those SNK fighting games, there's just like a bunch of rip-off Street Fighter characters.
That's funny.
And so that's the joke. It's like a petty thing or whatever. So yeah.
All right. So let's rank the OSTs.
Is this a bonus
for these
round?
games. Yeah. Here we
for
go.
Patreon subscribers.